Are you doing percent composition? Okay, go ahead and stop. Grab your grade report from in front of you. Put it in front of you. I'm gonna show you one because I want to talk about what you're gonna do with it. So look up at mine real quick. Anytime you see an A, B, or an M, go ahead and circle that. A, B, or M, circle those. M, the letter M, as in missing. So if it is an A, B, that means you were absent that day, but you do need to go back and take that assignment. If you have an M, that means it's missing. So that grade will turn into a 50. For some reason you did not turn it in, or you didn't submit it to Schoology for some reason. Maybe you were absent, but most of the time I'm good about putting the A, B if you miss the assignment. If you have anything lower than a 70, box that. Next Wednesday or next Thursday, depending on whether or not you're going on the field trip, you're going to be allowed to retake the ones below a 70. I'm going to make some retakes this weekend. Anything that you just circled, you can go in tomorrow and take those assignments. Because tomorrow I already told you I'm not going to be here, so you can go back in and take that. Otherwise, tomorrow work on your homework. Question, Mia? Yes, but you're not going to do that till next week. Okay. The reason I want you to hold off on that till next week is because I want you to focus on anything that's missing, because I don't have the retakes made quite yet. So like these assignments are already made, they're already in the folder. Does that make sense? Okay. Questions? Complaints? Concerns? Plus the reason you're not going to do the ones that are at a 70, I'm going to reteach you things on Monday, because we're going to review, so then hopefully that'll help spark things in your head. Question?
But if we retake an assignment next week, you won't change our grade for
Yes, I will.
You will?
Yeah, I'm not going to submit grades until I leave Friday.
Is that right?
So you guys won't be here until Thursday. Like, you'll be here until Thursday. I'm going to refresh my grade book with all the retakes, and then I'll submit them that Friday. Any questions? Okay, on the back, if you want to flip to the back, this first one right here is your grade right now in this class. These bottom two, it shows you A1 and A2, so that you can see how you did in those two. So if you wanted to calculate your grade, you can add them all up and divide by 3, and that's going to be like pretty close to your semester average. The only thing that's not weighted there is the common assessment, but that's like 7% of your grade. So it'll be pretty close to what you're going to get. So you can add up all 3 of those numbers, divide by 3. That'll tell you whether or not you'll pass the class for the semester. So while you do that, I'm actually going to write the directions on the board for tomorrow.
Wait, you won't be here tomorrow?
No. You guys will be allowed to text me or message me on Teams. I'll be awake. My doctor's appointment is at 11, so if you message me at like 10:45, I won't respond.
Why would you message you at 2:45?
Because, you know, some of you guys like to just send me late messages, like, hey, what's up? And I'm just like, please don't bother me. So this will just be up here. It'll tell you exactly the steps you need to go through.
Are we going to be reviewing today about that?
Say that one more time.
This quiz tomorrow, are we going over stuff today?
We're doing the molecular formulas today. Over tomorrow it's going to be the conversions. There's going to be a couple on that. Empirical formulas, a few percent composition, and like one question from what we're doing today. So, excuse me, if you do your homework tonight, that should help you review what's actually going to be on there.
If you pass on your homework, you gave it to me.
It should. should be able to, because I said for it to be resumeable, but I don't quite know how the resumable feature works. I asked Miss Settle, but she knows a lot about smoothing. You know that. The quiz tomorrow is timed. You have 35 minutes. You should not be talking during that time. I'll write the password in the title of the later. Any questions about tomorrow? Any concerns about tomorrow?
What is a quiz? Oh.
Oh. And all those posters are going to be up. The molar mass, so I'm going to move it. And I'm going to put up an example of how to calculate empirical formulas. I already wrote it out. I just need to put it up.
Tomorrow, are we gonna go to first period or can we?
First period. Because it's a full day, so you'll just follow the regular schedule. I forgot about that. I was like, why are you asking me this? Okay. Any questions, any concerns? Anything you need from me before we start?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I don't have any money, so that might not be what you want to ask.
On the homework, we gotta use that 6.02 crap, huh?
For some of them.
I suck at using.
The homework,
I need help with that.
Take a picture of it before you leave today, Mia.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't remember.
So take a picture before you leave today, Elias. I know, I messed up.
That's kind of hurting us knowing.
I know, I forgot the book. So, that's like part of the issue. And I made these copies last week.
Somebody say that.
You okay now? Just went over y'all's head, didn't
Is
it?
it like the school?
No, because there's like, they're tiny little grains. So you can literally eat like 50 at a time when you put it in a spoon. Yeah, that went over your head. Alright, fine. Take that one.
That's tough. Say dog. Can't wait for Saints.
Read this word again.
What's Satan? What's Satan?
Satan is like the devil.
You don't know who Satan is?
I didn't know the devil had.
Okay, anyways, moving on before we fall too far behind. What's the name of the first one?
Aluminum sulfide.
Aluminum sulfide.
I got a question.
What's up, Mia?
I thought if it was molecular, it would be, we add the prefixes.
This acts, it's a metalloid,
So it's basically a metal.
so it acts as a metal whenever it reacts with stuff. The next one should be hydrofluoric acid. Then you should have chromium 4 chloride.
Oh shoot, I'm not retarded after all.
What? Okay.
Okay,
One more
pausing.
question.
Yep.
Okay. With the metal,
Mm-hmm.
how do we detect their charge?
I got
You
it.
have to flip this guy up so that you know what the charge was. Okay, so then we got. Sorry, I paused.
Nitride.
Titanium 1 nitride.
Oh, you have to put it, it's 1, 2.
Yep. That one's a little bit trickier. And then you should have copper 3 bromide. Chloric acid should be HClO4. Hepta, what does hepta mean?
7.
7, so you should have 7 sulfurs and 5 oxygens. Zinc chloride should be ZnCl2. Zinc was one of those exceptions, so you should have a +2 written inside of the box for zinc, so if you don't, make sure you have one, because zinc will always have a +2 charge. Y'all, I took a good shower this morning. I smell really good. Just got a whiff of myself. I'm like, I like that. Okay, barium. Sorry, I know that was like really off task. What's chromate?
C-R-O-M-A-T-E.
Oh, it's going to be.
-2/4. I mean.
It's one of them
don't they
back.
cancel each other out?
ABC.
CRO4.
Well, Cheyenne said it so confidently, and then I was like, let me just double check, because maybe I'm dumb, which I am. She's right, CRO4. So it should be BaCrO4, because they both have a positive/negative 2 charge, so they just cancel each other out. Strontium sulfate should be SrSO4. Because again, they both have that +2, -2, so they cancel each other out.
When Jen's getting better.
We are getting better?
Yeah.
Some of us. Lorenzo's like, yeah, I'm still in the dumps over here. I'm sorry, buddy. We'll get there. Okay, how do we find the percent composition of water?
I don't know.
How we do it?
Calculate.
How do you do it?
You write H and write O, and then you write for H it'll be 1.008 times 2. Did you get that?
That's what I got.
Okay, and then 1 times 15.999.
Okay, what do you do next?
You multiply.
Okay, so I should get this and this.
18.999. Then you add those up. Then you're gonna get 18.01.
Okay, now what?
And then wouldn't you just if
Put
it's
that,
actually for hydrogen?
put that number over that number. And then
Okay, go ahead, Mia, say it.
No, because I'm gonna say the wrong thing.
Okay, so you should have 2 fractions set up. One with hydrogen's mass on top, and one with oxygen's mass on top. And you divide both of those by the molar mass. To turn it into a percent, you gotta multiply it by 100. So we should have 11.2% hydrogen.
88.8.
And 88.
I can't stop because we're gonna run out of time to do our other stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what you had to do first. Now look, it says how many grams of hydrogen? So we gotta actually answer the question. Grams of hydrogen can be obtained from 35 grams. So we have a percent. We know that water is 11.2% hydrogen. So all you need to do is take 35 and multiply it by 11.2.
What do you get?
My answer key is over there. I don't know. And
Oh,
I
me.
didn't get a calculator. And I take that back. It's not 11.2. It should be 0.112. Because when you multiply a percent, you got to move that decimal. So what do we get, y'all?
3.92.
So there are 3.92 grams of hydrogen and 35 grams of water. So that's all you do for those.
Where did you get that 111 to?
Look, even if you don't move it, even at the end of the top, you gotta move it.
Why are we moving this one?
Because when you multiply a fraction, you need to move the decimal.
Well, why'd you move it there?
It's not a fraction.
11.2%. To get rid of this percent so we can multiply, we gotta move it this way twice. So we got 11.2 and we plug it in right there. Also, if you didn't do that, you would get 392 grams. There's no possible way to have 392 grams from 35 grams. Logically doesn't make sense. Okay, I'm gonna skip this problem on the other side because we're running out of class time. Flip to the back. I know. Okay, today we're going to talk about molecular formulas. So molecular formulas, they show the actual number. The actual number of each element in that compound. So for example, CH2O. This is the empirical formula for glucose. But C6H12O6 is the molecular formula, so it is the actual formula. So there will be some times where we get or we derive an empirical formula and we have to turn that into the actual formula or the molecular formula for that compound. So the molecular formula more than likely is going to be able to be reduced. There will be a couple of cases like water Water's formula is H2O. That is also its empirical and molecular formula are the same. So there will be some where they are the same, some where they are not. Mia, question?
I got an idea of how people can remember how to write the
Okay, tell me.
How M it has more.
Okay, M, molecular. There's gonna be more.
It'll be
That's
cooler
only for
for
some people
like.
like me.
Molecular, there's more. Molecular, there's more.
Cheyenne has an idea.
Cheyenne has an idea for the empirical ones?
Yeah, it should be like that.
Like what?
Like molecular, and then going down from the MORE.
I feel like
Then
they're
put
about,
the arrows.
No, what she's saying is like this.
we can see.
Oh, I'm gonna write it first, buttheads.
That's a literal question.
Molecular is more. And then if you turn it sideways, it's an L like a loser for Cheyenne. You set yourself up for that one, buddy. Okay, so this first one, is it an empirical formula or molecular formula? So what you're gonna look at for the molecular ones, they can be reduced. The empirical ones can't be reduced. They're already the simplest they can be. So can this first one be reduced?
No.
No.
No, so what is it?
Empirical.
Empirical, so write that next to it. Now try the next 4 by yourself. Got about 15 seconds left. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. K2SO4. What is it?
Molecular.
Empirical.
Why is it empirical, Aviana?
Because you can reduce 1 by 2.
Right here, guys. The S is by itself. There's only one S, so you gotta watch it. You can't reduce that one anymore. What about C2H6? Molecular. How can you reduce that? Divided by 2. What about S4O10? Molecular.
Wait.
Whoa. I'm waiting. How could we reduce this one? Divide by 2, and what would we end up with? Exactly. So there will be some cases where we don't get down to 1, but that is okay because that is the lowest it can be. And what about this last one? Molecular. And what can we divide by? 4. So we would get C4H. I can't do math, my bad. C2H3O. At least I can admit to it. You guys don't admit when you can't do things. Okay, today to find the molecular formula, it's a pretty simple guy. So the first thing we're going to do is find the molar mass of the empirical formula. Then we're going to divide it. Pretty simple step. And then you're going to multiply the empirical formula by whatever you get as the answer from this division. So I'm going to show you how to do it. It's pretty simple. So we're going to look at this first problem. It says an empirical formula, so this is our empirical, P2O5. So I'm actually going to make myself a note. The empirical is P2O5. And the molar mass of the actual compound, so my molecular, is 283.88. So I have my empirical formula and my molecular's molar mass. So it says, what is the molecular formula of this compound?
You just said it.
Nope, I said the molecular. I did not. My bad. So the first thing I gotta do is find the molar mass of my empirical formula. Do I have that yet?
No.
No, so I gotta figure that out. So I got P2. And what is my mass of phosphorus?
30.974.
And then what is mine of oxygen?
15.99.
So my first step is to find my molar mass. So that's what I'm working on right now. So let's go ahead and do our calculator business. So I'm going to do 2 times 30.974. You should get an answer that's 61.948. And then I'm going to do 5 times 15.999. And you should get 79.995. What do I need to do after I do those two things? Add them. So let's add them together. And you should get 141.943. So I've done step 1. I got my molar mass.
Check.
Check. You know I like to check and make myself feel good early in the morning. I did something right. It's the first time for everything. Okay. Step 2, it says determine the ratio of the molecular formula's molar mass and the empirical formula's molar mass. So what that means, step 2, we're going to find a ratio to figure out what our actual formula is going to be. So we're going to take the molar mass of the compound, so our molecular molar mass, and we're going to divide it by our empirical molar mass. So our molecular molar mass is 283.88 grams per mole, and our empirical was 141.943 grams per mole. So we're going to divide those two to figure out what our ratio is. So go ahead and type that into your calculator when you get caught up. Did you type it in your calculator?
What do you have as the unit?
The units, grams per mole. You type it, Lorenzo? I'm gonna wait to write my answer down until I see you do it. Steven, you don't even got a calculator, man.
Dividing 2, 8. It's 2.0000.
It's not what I got.
That's what I got.
I got
That's what we got.
P4010.
Somebody come show me their calculator, because that's not what I got.
Oh,
Here you go.
Yours rounded.
Yeah, mine's keeps
Yours rounded. Yours rounded.
It's on 2.
Is yours not round?
Some calculators is round.
Your calculator's not cool.
Well, you should have got what I got. I got 1.999996.
See, that's like
I got 995.
Sucks. Alright, anyways, like you guys just saw, it's basically what? So we're going to round this number to 2. So 2 is our ratio. So what we're going to do with that number 2, we're going to take our empirical formula and we're going to multiply it by our ratio. So what that means is we're going to multiply the little 2 and the little 5.
Put step 3.
Thanks. So this is what step 3 means. It says multiply the empirical formula, so that's our first part, times the ratio. So what we would end up with for our molecular formula, because this is going to give us our molecular formula, is P4O10. So this is a lot easier than what we did yesterday.
Yeah, but
You think it's more steps? Yeah. I don't think so.
what do we need this for?
Huh?
What do we need this for?
Life.
Like those,
You're going to do a lab on Thursday, Friday. Oh, by the way, you're going to do a lab on Thursday, Friday. If you have long hair, you're going to want to come with a ponytail because we're lighting stuff on
cut it
fire.
off.
can we wear glasses?
Is my hair long?
Do we get extra?
You don't need them.
Do
You don't need them.
She said April.
I know. Okay, try the one right below. Try the one right below. I'm gonna leave this up actually so you can have an example. So try the one right below. So you should be calculating the molar mass of that empirical formula right now.
Ooh, I smell marker. I'm sorry.
So at this point you should be calculating your ratio. Your ratio should be a number between 1 and 10.
My calculator.
What did everyone get? Okay.
I got 10.999.
Okay.
Yeah, your molar mass is on.
What? What molar?
Agree to add your molar mass. Like your step 1, your molar mass was added wrong. You should get 30. Something like that.
Yeah, and I get 7.99 still fine.
Mm-hmm.
So you say it's 11.
Yep. So you should have this so far for your molar mass. So you can go ahead and check your molar mass. I'm going to add it up right now because I don't know why I didn't just take a picture of the answer key. Nothing in my life makes sense. So you should get 30.026 for your empirical molar mass.
Keeps giving me 30. My calculator is the same too.
It's okay. Your calculator has a mind of its own. So again, your ratio should be your molecular divided by your empirical. So it should be 330 divided by 30.026. When you do that, you should get approximately 10.99. Oops, I just ran off my page. 10.99. So we can round that up to 11, because that's just about 11. So that's our ratio. So CH2O times 11 for step 3. You're going to multiply it every single place. So you should be multiplying it 3 times. So you should have C11, H22, O11.
It was crazy. That's exactly what happened. You said, you did it wrong.
Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. I got it right. You said,
You know, there's a first time for everything.
oh wow, oh wow.
Cheyenne, that was too hard of a laugh.
Okay, go ahead and put this into your folder.
Everything's what is not
Oh my god, those elements are.
what are we doing now?
What's that?
You printed that out wrong.
3 copies or something mixed with everything else.
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, start with number 1.
Yeah, stop saying that.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna thank her all the time. Para cualquier cosa. Thank you.
Okay, this packet is going to be due by Friday. So we're gonna start it right now. We should be able to finish this first page today. I want to check this first page before you leave. Make yourself a note that this is due Friday. It's a lot of work, so I want to make sure that you get credit for it.
This is our homework too.
Yeah. But I'm trying to give you as many grades as possible so that you pass. You know, so you can keep any of your Christmas presents